Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long was 1975. A YouTuber on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long was 1975.
Welcome to another ZX Spectrum versus Commodore 64 comparison video. In this video we're taking a look at this game, Light Force, released in 1986 by FTL, otherwise known as Faster Than Light. That was actually going to be the name of the game before the people who wrote it decided it was a much cooler title to use for a software label. It's a secondary label for Gargoyle Games. They also did Future Shock, which I have a comparison video of from very recently, but this game uses something called Lasermation, which is something to show, you know, very high detail at a very fast, you know, rate of speed. I don't know if I go as far to say frame rates, but yeah. So it was also released excuse me, Marmite on crumpets for breakfast, also released on the Amstrad CPC, and it was a massive success across all formats, but particularly the ZX Spectrum, which I remember being a massive deal at the time, because unlike other shoot 'em ups, vertical scrolling shoot 'em ups, this was full color graphics, very detailed, with you know, absolutely no attribute clash whatsoever. I've never played the Commodore 64 version. I have played the Spectrum version, but it was years and years ago. Excuse me again. Space gives me a yucky throat. But it absolutely kicks my ass. But someone asked if I could do this since I did Future Shock, so let's get into it. Also, as a hidden game in the 128K version of Zub by Mastertronic, they parried it with a game called Light Farce. See what they did there? Right, 48K only version, so there's just going to be beeper sound and no music, sadly, because it is 1986. Let's get into this. That flash is the only indication that something happens. Faster Than Light. Light Force is for vengeance. J for joystick. We're going to have to go with that because the spacebar doesn't work on my keyboard and it won't let you define them. And here you go, look at the demo. Obviously it's doing that thing where you've got like got very cool specific design for the ship, but you've got a little black border around all the craft and things like that. That's not to say though, even without that, the scrolling is super smooth, but this looks amazing. Think of other shoot 'em ups on the Spectrum, particularly in 1986, and while some of them are extremely good, such as Xenon and things like that, they're all monochromic. But as you can see from this, because of the sizes of the sprites, it's quite balls are really hard quite quickly. Anyway, 2 tears in a bucket. J. Thank you. K for Kempston. J for joystick. K for Kempston. Fire. There we go. I wish I had a turbo. I can remember that immediately. Look at the planets. This is the asteroid field. There are 5 levels, including a jungle planet like you saw then. But even the asteroids have multiple colours on them. The background's loaded with multiple colours. It looks absolutely fantastic. And you think this is hard? Oh right, gotta do this. Ooh. So you just think the asteroids are hard, but then this shit just kicks in. Oh. I don't know what they are, but they just refuse to die. To be fair, that's what you expect from your alien force. Yeah, some force is invading the galaxy or something, and you are the last starfighter tooled with stopping them or taking them down or something like this. It's the fact... I don't even know what hit me then. They can come up behind you. You're not going to see much of... Oh, that's a bullet. Yeah, you're not going to see much of this. The thing is, it's because it's so bright and colourful, you forget then that obviously when there's projectiles, you just assume it's too coloured. Oh, my ship's too big to avoid. It's too colourful. It must be background graphics. It's not. If only I had a turbo. If only I could get some bloody poke files to work. Also, how do you load disk files in FBZX Wii? Anyone know? I've had it for years. Probably 10, and I still can't get it to fucking work. But that's not what this video is about. Right, obviously a certain amount of score, and we will rack up extra lives, which basically you bloody well need, and stuff. You also really need to shoot them. Right, I saw your bullets that time. See, this is another perfect example. If you make something look this purty, why not make it so people can, you know, play it and get to appreciate it and enjoy it? Or at least, you know, give them a difficulty select. Just a suggestion, even though obviously it's pointless because this is an old game. Didn't stop it selling. Didn't stop it doing extremely well. Didn't stop magazines loving it and it winning lots of, you know, good praise and reviews. Ooh, will stop me getting anywhere near possibly the second level. But we can all enjoy this level. And the fact that I've got Popeye forearms now because it doesn't have a bloody turbo. I can't destroy those, can I? No, I can. Look, they changed direction. I don't like that. That's a bit cheap. Does this mean it's a boss? Ooh, ooh! We've achieved something. We've achieved something. We're going to die horrifically now. But look at it. Obviously, right, there's no parallax, but... Come on, Mudge, look at it. I mean, look at it. I like that. It's giving me information. It's breaking the fourth wall, is what it's doing. Oh, here we go. Is this a memorization thing? How do I know whereabouts they're going to come out the back of the screen? I don't. The fact that I'm still alive is quite frankly amazing me. Oh, shies and balls. Right, what? Move! Fuck it, why am I sitting there like a fucking plum-tard? Right, well, anyway, things we've learnt so far. This game looks utterly fantastic. It's balls-horrifically hard, and, yeah, without poke files, not really going to see much, are you? Possibly memorization, you know, might help. Oh. What's generating those things? It's not this, is it? They're just coming out anyway. No, you don't. No, you don't. I don't know why, like, slow firing and shit then. Ooh! Johnny on the spot with the arrow springs to mind. I've got to say, one of the most things I remember most about this is the design of the ship. Maybe that's because, obviously, in the magazines, when they praised it, also, there was nothing else that looked this good. So, that and seeing this ship and graphics that looked this good spring to mind. Ooh. I don't know where to go to avoid those. Oh. Bollocks, that's because my keyboard's about to fall off my lap. Even though I'm not fucking using it. Ooh. Oh, shame. You might have seen some more of the second level. Well, I knew not to stay in the middle of the fucking screen. What? I don't like you anymore, game. I'm not going to run away and live in the mountains with you. It is a looker, though. Again, like I said, too fucking hard for its own good, but it is a looker. All it needs, to be fair, is a turbo. But then the thing is, I've heard people talk about this before. So many of these people who make these games, because they play tested them themselves inside and out when they were bug testing them and stuff like that, and obviously they made them, they became insanely good at it. So they didn't necessarily realise that the game was too hard for its own good. Rick Dangerous is another perfect example of that. Oh god, that was lucky. Yoink! I'm concentrating so hard, I'm on the verge of giving myself a nosebleed. Or shit in my pants, one or the other, whichever. Fuck it! Comes first. These... I'm just staying here. No, he locks on, and I was shooting the... Almost said this... Oh, fuck off. Just fuck off. Shake harder, boy. Right, I can't face anymore, but I think you've seen enough to know what a looker it is. So, genuinely, for the first time, let's play the Commodore 64 version. So here we go, Life Force on the Commodore 64. It's got fantastic music, it's got great chip music because it's by legendary Ron Hubbard. It's also got a really cool title screen, but going back to the music, not really fair. Oh, hello, elephant in the room. Not really fair to compare the SID chip to the 48K beeper, and to be fair, even if it was the AY chip, we know that the SID chip would win. Here's the thing, right? Why would you change the, you know, the iconic look of the spaceship? I love the look of that spaceship, you know, like it's a boat with a skiff stabilizer on the side. I think it looks fantastic. I'm not sure why they changed it. I mean, without knowing it was the same game, just look at it there immediately with the differences in the ship and stuff, you wouldn't say it was the same game, but anyway. Right, so anyway, apparently 4 control centres equals extra life. So I'm assuming those were those things, you know, those pods we were shooting on the ZX Spectrum version. Now, it's got music or sound effects. So I'm going to go for sound effects. So we press far back to here, and then what is it? Music or sound effects, F1. Self-destruct. Okay, I'm not sure what that does apart from kill us, but yeah, let's change it to sound effects. Right, so we're on sound effects, so I guess we just press fire. I have pissed around with the controls, but this is genuinely, excuse me, space travel. Gives me a gacky float. First time playing the Commodore 64 version. Score, bottom right, high score in the middle. Lives to the left, star-filled, spinning asteroids that look actually quite nice. So you know it would be, you know, the same game from this stage. Look at that little planet, or moon, orbiting that planet. Just... why is the ship so butt ugly? Smooth scrolling. Right. Now, because I'm playing this on a D-pad, I can properly hammer fire, but that's not really fair to compare it to the Spectrum for that, for having to play it on keys. I could have played it on joystick, actually. Right. It's very nice smooth scrolling graphics. Here's the thing, right? I have noticed... oh, shit. That... it's a lot quicker to control on the Commodore, than it is on the Spectrum. See, the thing is, with all this colour going on and stuff like that in the background, you just mistake objects for background graphics. But yeah, it's a lot quicker to control, but the problem with that is, you sometimes find yourself going up like then, because obviously with keys, and this is, you know, keys compared to joystick on lots of different games, that's... like then, because you have a D-pad and not a keyboard where obviously you can just press left or right and you're up and down separate on the other side of the screen, you find yourself moving around and into objects' path without wanting to go into their path. They lock on, that's annoying. Same problem as the Spectrum. I mean, what? Oh wait, hang on, that's me putting my name in apparently, I think. Same problem on the Spectrum. Why is it so difficult right off the bat? And I would like turbos. There is a trainer mode, but to be fair, that wouldn't be fair, you know, on the Spectrum version. So we'll just see how far I can get to compare it like that, which is obviously not going to be very fast. See, again, I'm moving up because I'm playing it on a joystick. You'd probably say, well, why don't you play it on a keyboard? Well, I can't get a keyboard. I don't know what keyboard you need to be recognised by the C64 Mini, but everyone I've tried, they're all USB keyboards I bought from the supermarket, I'm not going to lie, it doesn't recognise. Don't like these bastards. So yeah, you know, tell you're playing the same game even though your ship is butt ugly. Much quicker to control than the Spectrum, but again, see joystick problem, which is not really a fault as such. It does make it a little bit easier for shit to find your face. Is there any real need for those to lock on? It's like they lock onto a little bit and then you have to line up and shoot them. What killed me then? I don't think they crash into you. Oh, see? I pressed up again. The controls are too titsy on this, like, seriously. glad he pissed off, I'm not going to lie. This is hard. This looks nice. I mean, so far I would say that I actually prefer the graphics on the Spectrum. Might be because scrolling is smoother on this, obviously, but it might be because it's, you know, this is something that your Commodore can do, you know, all day long, whereas the Spectrum, it really is doing something a little bit different. I mean, that might be an odd reason to prefer the way it looks over this. I prefer the fact that the levels are split up there, and it's not like you're flying over a space station where the information, you know, is given to you. I kind of like a divide between my levels. That's just me. Right. Not sure I like that water effect. This is the jungle planet, and they're coming from behind immediately. Wait, what? How? I'm gonna go far. That's a cheap bloody move. So are you saying, game, that I have to perfectly memorise every one that comes out, you know, to be able to work out where I should be to avoid them? No. I mean, I thought it was brutal on the Spectrum, but that's too brutal. Yeah, apologies, you're really not going to see much of this. It's too hard. I mean, I can tell you right now, I think it looks better on the Spectrum. Obviously, you know, scrolling's better on the Commodore. It sounds better on the Commodore. That's to be expected. Obviously, I'm playing without music, though. Both at the same time would be nice. You can tell they are the same game. Controls are a little bit too twitchy on this, and that's not just because I'm playing it with a joypad, but once again, why would you make a game this hard? I mean, is it because it's only 5 levels? Surely not. Oh! It's like, have enemies that fly around and have, you know, I don't know, turrets that shoot you, but don't have everything can shoot you, as well as destroy you by flying around. Fuck! I mean, I don't know what reviews this got on the Commodore. I know, like I said in the first half of this video, it got great reviews on the Spectrum. I would say it's a little bit more forgiving on the Spectrum, even though you didn't really see me get far. But surely, this can't have got absolute groundbreaking reviews, because like I said, I know we were made of sterner stuff, but I can tell you now immediately, especially the way the enemies come out the back of the screen on second stage, and that weird lock-on thing like these do, this is damn near bloody impossible. Again, I am aware there are people out there who can piss through it. I'm not one of them. I mean, graphically better on the Spectrum, sonically better on the Commodore, scrolling's better on the Commodore, but ultimately that's a moot point on both versions. Am I missing something there? Because they're both too fucking hard for their own good. I mean, I've mentioned before, is that because the people, when they were playtesting this and trying to fix bugs and stuff like that, because it's their game and they wrote it, they just became so amazingly good at it that it was, you know, no walk in the park, no, not big deal, or sorry, you know, no massive walk in the park for them. So when they released it, they actually had no real idea of how bloody hard it was. So yeah, ultimately, I mean, I'm going to say controversial, tie, because what's the point if you can't get anywhere on either version? Yeah, got you, you spinning. Woo! Ooh! Square bastard. Awkward pauses. Oh! Hey, anyone I know who's got a C64 Mini, give me the make of a keyboard which will work on it. Because I don't plan on buying a C64 Maxi just to get a working keyboard. Although a full-size Commodore 64 with a working keyboard would be tight. Also, the other thing I don't like is when you die, can you start me from the point where I actually died? Because, especially on the second level, then I might actually get to see some of the fucking game. Hey. Can't see that now. Being on that planet orbiting that, you know, being on that moon orbiting that planet at that speed, looks like it'll be a lot more fun than this. See? We got to worry about this and those, and yet those things were still firing at me. And I haven't got a turbo, so my hand's about to fall off. First world problems, First world problems. I do like the effect how they smoke. Right, see, I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. It's like, it's the calm before the storm. I'm just going to fly around and shoot. See? This is fucking impossible. Ooh, shake harder, boy. See, I can't even just stay there, because then I have to move to the side in order to shoot things that are coming down towards me, which then basically puts me in the far line of anything that's coming out behind me. Do you know what? Life Force, like I stand by, Life Force, ZX Spectrum versus Commodore 64. Spectrum's far more impressive for the machine that it's running on, but ultimately they're both rendered pointless because of how fucking brutally hard they are. Anyway, as always, I'd love to know what you think, especially if you played this on the Spectrum, Commodore or Amstrad, and am I missing clearly something bloody obvious? Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.